Hey everyone, Zach Knuckles from Rivaltide bringing you my review for Sonic the Fighters, which is available right now on PSN and Xbox Live Arcade. Now, Sonic the Fighters was originally released in 1996 as an arcade game. This arcade fighter only appeared on consoles back in 2005, which was on the Sonic Gems collection, which was released only for the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo GameCube. There was a Sega Saturn version in the works, but unfortunately that ended up getting cancelled, so it would be no surprise to me if you've never played or even heard of this arcade fighter. The concept behind the game is quite interesting. Dr. Robotnik and Metal Sonic have built the Death Egg 2, and Sonic and 7 other of his friends want to destroy it. Tails ends up creating a rocket which will fly them there, but the unfortunate thing is the rocket requires 8 Chaos Emeralds, and there's only one seat available. Poor planning on Tails' part if you ask me. So instead of letting the Blue Hedgehog, who has battled Robotnik his entire career, go on up and take on Metal Sonic and Robotnik, a fighting tournament's held instead, where the loser gives up their Chaos Emerald. While it may not be the best plot, it at least gives a justifiable reason to why Sonic and friends are even fighting in the first place. The gameplay is very similar to Virtua Fighter, or even Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Players will fight on a 3-dimensional plane using a 3-button punch, block, and kick combination. Also factor in directional button presses and half circles. You got quite a technical fighter on your hand. However, don't let that intimidate you. No matter what your skill levels with fighters is, Sonic the Fighters is easily accessible to everyone. I would compare it to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in the sense that anyone can pick it up and feel like they're doing well. While I wouldn't call either of those games a button masher, they certainly could be enjoyed that way. That being said, Sonic the Fighters is not the same quality of a Marvel vs. Capcom. While it may be a 16-year-old fighter, it is a fighter that hasn't aged well. It feels slow, clunky, really isn't that enjoyable as some of the fighters on today's market. There really isn't a whole lot of variety when it comes to different modes in the game. Most players will start right away with Arcade Mode. Arcade Mode only consists of 10 rounds though. The first 8 rounds will be the player battling Sonic's friends, with one of those rounds being a battle with a mirror image of yourself, while the last 2 rounds consist of battling Metal Sonic and then Dr. Robotnik. While Arcade Mode is rather enjoyable, it can be finished in under 20 minutes and really doesn't offer any replayability. There's absolutely no incentive whatsoever for the player to go back and complete Arcade Mode with all the different characters, which really makes the single player seem even more shallow than what it actually is. Once players finish the single player, the only other options available are local multiplayer, which will require a second controller, or online multiplayer, which will only consist of ranked and unranked matches. It's a bit disappointing that you can't battle against the AI in local multiplayer. I feel like that would have been a perfect way for players to practice and learn a character-specific move list. Overall, there isn't much to say about Sonic the Fighters. It's an entertaining enough fighter that plays well enough, and isn't out to rape your wallet either. While Arcade Mode is fun, having an incentive to go back and replay it with different characters would have been nice. However, it's hard to argue with the price of $5 on PSN or 400 Microsoft points on XBLA. And like I said earlier, this is one of those games that anyone of any skill level could enjoy. While Sonic the Fighters may not be the Street Fighter of the world, it has a convincing enough price and enjoyable enough gameplay that warrants at least a look at the demo. It's also worth mentioning that if you're an achievement or trophy hunter, this is an easy 100%. So my overall score for Sonic the Fighters is a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching the review, and if you like this review, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, check out Rivaltide on the net at www.mytide.net, and also follow us on Twitter at MyTideOfficial, and give us a like on Facebook. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.